news and prophecy, news and headlines. The build-up phase of the great accusation playing out right before our very eyes. Let's read this header of this article. And the header of the article reads, White House press secretary declares, if you aren't mainstream, quote unquote, you are a terrorist. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Giving all praise, honor, and infinite glory unto the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, double honors unto the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well. Shalom unto the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Shalom, shalom. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect and the hearty shalom, to the sincere brethren doing the work in truth and sincerity spread across the four winds of the earth, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure. Shalom, shalom. So this article and the header pretty much speaks for itself. You know, what we're starting to witness is the term terrorists, domestic terrorists get thrown out more. Conspiracy theories being a talking point of the United Nations, and them declaring war on conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theories. The term radicalization, radicals, you know, those who've been radicalized, quote unquote, being thrown out more and more, which is indirectly talking about the servants of prophecy, Yahweh Shemi Ashai. This thing with Alex Jones, him basically getting buck broke, you know, and he had a lot of talking points that he was bringing out that we bring up. The MOT to the B, you know, the elite, you know, the globalists, the elite banksters, you know, conspiracy theories. He was bringing up a lot of talking points that we bring up, you know, fabricated events, staged events, crisis actors, you know, the situation with Andrew Tate and him being blackballed from social media for, you know, speaking about a lot of talking points, better yet, that we bring up, you know, masculinity, you know, being men, you know, show yourselves men. Also, Donald Trump, the situation that's happening with him, you know, let's read this header from this article, which came out from End Time Headlines a few days ago. In Salakia, I'm still battling the sickness, so I may have to clear my voice here and there because I still have a sore throat. But back to the article. Trump accused of sharing barrage and QAnon content and other quote-unquote conspiracy theories on his social media platform. So they're using Donald Trump as well to, you know, to gain momentum of their talking point and of their accusation. You know, conspiracy theorists, domestic terrorists, radicals, radicalization, so on and so forth. Let's get a quick precept. 2 Corinthians 13:8, and it reads, for we can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. Because all your devices, all your plans are going to come to naught. And that's what we're telling you. And it's offensive, you know, to you, but it's biblical prophecy. The beast doesn't win. Now let's go into this article. White House press secretary declares, if you aren't mainstream, you are a terrorist. And also there was an article that I put in the community tab of YouTube that I shared going into the topic of, if it'll pull up, Google to ban all smartphone apps that tell the truth about health in its latest bid to protect lives of Big Pharma and the yo jabba jabba industry. You know, so there's an all-out war on truth. And what did George Orwell say in a famous quote? Telling the truth in a universal time of deceit is a revolutionary act. And that's what we're doing through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Ashai, because we've been instructed to do so. Set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against him. You know, Go ye there into the highways and the byways and bid them to the marriage. Now, back to the article. White House press secretary. And of course, they use Eve, Esau, Edom's pet dog, the nigger woman, to convey the message. Let's get this article. It's a short read. White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. That sounds like a Haitian name. White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre declared on Thursday that any American who does not hold mainstream beliefs is a dangerous terrorist. Now, I did a lesson about, I would say 4 or 5 days ago, maybe a week ago, on this same topic in the form of the Great Accusation. And I went through the bullet point list of 72 things that they look for to declare people a domestic terrorist. Now, that list was originally released in 2013. So there's way more things than 72. There's that list is probably doubled, since then. And on that list, conspiracy theorists, those who back up conspiracy theories, those who believe in end-time prophecy, those who create a website to actively demonstrate or protest, or confess their beliefs, a YouTube page, those who speak out negatively against the UN, those who oppose Agenda 21, those who are against the Rainbow Coalition, those who are anti-abortion, so on and so forth. Those are a few bullet points that are on that list. Lord's will, if I remember, I'll put a link to that list in the description box of this lesson. But there's a lot of things that they look for, to make you and consider you a domestic terrorist. White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre declared on Thursday that any American who does not hold mainstream beliefs, quote unquote, is a dangerous terrorist. Let's get the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter. Five and 10. It already had it saved. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sakes, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. They're going to call us everything under the sun. Domestic terrorists, rapists, anti-javelin, anti-Kool-Aid, anti-serpent's juice, which they've been calling us the past 2.5 years in a roundabout way. Anti-charagma. They're going to blame us for everything under the sun, just like they did in old times. The fire of Rome, Nero. And who was the blame of that? The prophets, the Israelites. Matthew 5 and 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Matthew 5 and 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. And there's nothing new under the sun. Back to the article. This is the next part of the article, and it reads, just before President Biden's satanic speech on Thursday evening, Jean-Pierre told reporters that anybody who dares to question the Biden regime or disagrees with the proved mainstream media outlets are exhibiting an extreme way of thinking. So if you're independently thinking, if you're thinking for yourself and you don't agree, then that's extremist. That's dangerous. And that was mentioned in one of the articles that I went through in that lesson. I may leave a link to that lesson in the description box as well, if you want to check it out. It's a pretty long-winded lesson, but a lot of information was gone through in that lesson about how they're declaring wrong think and what they consider a wrong opinion as, criminal now. Wrong think, and if you don't agree, pretty soon that's going to be illegal, man. Just hours before President Joe Biden's satanic speech on Thursday evening, Jean-Pierre told reporters that anybody who dares to question the Biden regime or disagrees with the proved mainstream media outlets are exhibiting an extreme way of thinking and must be treated as quote-unquote criminal terrorists. Let's get Revelation 13 and 8. I think that might be it. Not 13 and 10. Might be 11. Yep. Revelation 13 and 11. And it reads, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth." Rome 2.0, you know. "And he had two horns like a lamb," the Democratic and the Republican Party, "and he spake as a dragon," you know. And that whore rides upon that beast. The whore being Babylon the Great, you know, America. And the two horns is two political parties, you know, just like they had in ancient Rome. You had the plebeians and the patricians. Now you have the Democrats and the Republicans. And this man is starting to speak like a dragon. That word dragon goes back to Draco, which goes into draconian. Let's look up draconian real quick. Draconian, the Webster definition: law or relating to or characteristic of Draco, which if you look into that word dragon in the New Testament, that's the root of the word, Draco, you know, Draco, or severe code of laws held to have been framed by him. Cruel, that's what draconian is, cruel, you know. Anybody who doesn't agree, you know, you're an enemy. Let's get Revelation 12 and 12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them." This truth. "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." He's starting to speak like a dragon, man. He's starting to show his true colors. He's starting to show his horns. Back to the article. During an exchange on Leviticus 18 and 21. Let's just get it real quick, because that's another talking point that you can't talk about on YouTube anymore. You make a video going into, you know, how it's wicked to sacrifice your children unto Molech, and you're going to get your video taken down, you know. Leviticus 18 and 21. "And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech." And that's what they do at Planned Parenthood, you know, and other places. "Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am Yahweh Bashim Yahushai." During an exchange on Leviticus 18 and 21, and them basically, you know, talking about it, Jean-Pierre declared, "When you are not with where the majority of Americans are, then you know that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking." Summit.news reports reporters push for more clarification on what exactly extreme is and who the label applies to. It applies to anybody that doesn't agree, you know. Let's get Jeremiah 30. Slack it. Jeremiah 30 and 6. And it reads, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands in his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Who? Those who are written in the book. Let's go to Revelation 7 and 14 real quick. Because you have congregations out there saying that you're not going to have any trouble, you know. Come on, it's lucky. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, See these, Slakia. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white with the blood of the Lamb. Through what? Through the word, you know. White is symbolic of purity, you know. And it's the Lamb who makes us pure through this word, you know. Let's get Daniel 12:1. It's lucky. And it reads, and at that time, what time? This time right here, Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. Who? The elect. Let's go. Let's look up Acts. And it reads, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. And that's what we do through these lessons, you know, these epistles, the video epistles, the camp sessions, the sit downs, you know, the prophecy updates, even the community tab, you know, giving news and updates, so on and so forth. Exhorting our Akwath to continue in the faith, you know, building them up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Acts 14:22, exhorting them, you know, rebuking each other as well, you know, when we go off. Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. And you have certain groups out there saying you're not going to have any trouble. Everything's going to be a skip and a walk in the park. That's not an accurate report, you know. Let's go to Jeremiah 14 real quick. Now that's being brought up. Jeremiah 14. Let's see. Let me see. Yep. This is Jeremiah 14:13. Then said I, Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine. And that you have certain men saying, Jacob's trouble's gay, you know, they're not going to have it. There's no such thing as Jacob's trouble. Also, the Christian church doesn't teach about Jacob's trouble for the most part, you know. Jeremiah 14:13. Then said I, Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place. And that's what they're saying. You shall have peace and safety, you know. I think that's 2 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. 1 Thessalonians 5. When they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction. Yep. 1 Thessalonians 5. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, to those who aren't watching. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And that's the same thing that's said in Jeremiah 30:7. You know, Jeremiah 30:6, which we just went through, you know. Why do I see every man with his hands on his loins? You know. We'll get Daniel 12:1 next. Jeremiah 14:14. And it reads, Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesied lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and deceit of their heart and the deceit of their heart. You have certain camps out there saying that, you're not going to have any trouble. Jacob's trouble's gay. That's what ISUPK said, Well, keep that same sentiment, man, because these folks are coming down with great wrath, This is Jeremiah 14:15. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. That speaks for itself, There's going to be Jacob's trouble. There's going to be tribulation. And the only ones that are going to be delivered is the elect, those who are written in the book. Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince that which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. Who? Everyone that shall be found written in the book of life. Now let's go back to the articles. Actually, let's get these precepts. This is Proverbs 11:21. And it reads, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And you have Esau, Edom's pet dog, the nigger woman, delivering the message that they're going to come down with great wrath, and she's going to be destroyed, if she doesn't repent. Most likely she's not. Proverbs 11:21 again, though a hand join in hand, the wicked, who's the wicked, pursuant to Job 9:24 and Malachi, the first chapter, the 3rd and 4th verses, we know that to be the tabernacles of Edom, Esau, Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. The seed of the righteous, the elect, and eventually all Israel, in the kingdom. After the 2/3 are purged out, the dross is burnt out. This is Proverbs 17:15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai. And that's double rebellion. You're justifying the wicked and condemning the just. That's Marathiam, double rebellion. And that's what Eve has the spirit on her of, double rebellion, justifying the wicked and condemning the just. And this lady has a Haitian name, most likely is Haitian, and the Haitians, that would be the tribe of Levi, who were the priests in the ancient time, the men, Now the priesthood is open up to all 12 tribes. This is Psalms 50, and let's start with the 16th verse. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? The main point is the 19th and the 20th verses. Let's read this again. But unto the wicked, saith the Lord. Slack it. Let me get some water. Slack it. Still battling the sickness, man. This is Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? I'm going to read it again from the top. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? And what do? They pass every single law that's adverse to the scriptures. They also swear in the Bible, seeing that thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. And that's what they do. These politicians, they swear on the Bible, man, which you're not supposed to do, Obama, what did Obama do? Obama legalized gay marriage, man. And he signed the National Defense Authorization Act, man, which allows for indefinite detainment. What did Joe Biden do? Passed all sorts of laws for freakiness, man. Freaky, creepy, sleepy, shoulder smelling Joe Biden, man. And you're not supposed to do this. This is a couple of precepts to go into that. James 5:12. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by the oath, but let your yea be yea and your nay be nay, lest ye fall into condemnation. And that's what they don't do. They don't let their yeas be yeas and their nays be nays. They'll make laws and they'll have revisions of the law, you know, forgetting the exact terminology, but they'll have laws come out, and then they'll have something else come out that basically reverses that law, you know. There's an exact terminology for it, slipped my mind. Let's go to Exodus 20:7. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh Shem Yahshua thy power in vain, for the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. In the heathen, you're not a part of this, but you swore in the Bible. You're not supposed to do that, you know. This is Matthew, the 5th chapter, 34 through 37. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is the most high's throne, neither by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king, Yahweh. Neither shalt thou swear by the head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, nay, nay, for whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. And that's what this man is. He's evil, man. Matthew 12:36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Mockers, scoffers, Esau, Edom, passing these wicked laws. You're going to have to give account for that in the day of judgment, man. Every idle word. Also this, you know. And there's a law on this. Exodus 22 and 28. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. If you go into this word gods, it's Allahim, which is rulers, judges, magistrates, you know, angels. And we're angels, you know, in decrepit flesh, in chains of darkness. But rulers and judges, that's what the Heavenly Father is setting up. A kingdom of kings and priests, rulers and judges. You know, thou shalt not revile the gods. Revile means to hate or condemn or to talk negatively about, you know. Criticize in an abusively or angrily insulting manner, you know. Nor curse the ruler of thy people, the prophets, you know. Let's go back to Psalms. Psalms 50, let's get 16 and 17 again. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? They swear on the Bible, you know, and they pass laws. And they said America, Babylon the Great, you know, in 1983, they said that this is a Bible, a country that's supposed to be living and supposed to be under rule and authority of the Holy Scriptures. That's what Reagan said in 83. I'll just get it real quick. 83 year of the Bible. Yep. In the United States, 1983 was designated as the National Year of the Bible by President Ronald Reagan. Proclamation 5018, made on February 3rd, 1983, the annual National Prayer Breakfast. Reagan was authorized and requested to designate 1983 by public law. And what do they do now? They pass laws that are contrary to the Scriptures. Back to Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and casteth my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him, and hast been partakers with adulterers. And that's what this Eve is doing. You know, you saw a thief and you're contending with him, you know. The same thief Yahushua warned about in John the 10th chapter. The thief came not to steal and to kill, roughly paraphrasing. And they're contending with this thief, Proverbs 11:21 again. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Also Isaiah the 13th chapter. You're going to be thrust through. Isaiah 13:15. And it reads, come on phone. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Shall fall by the sword. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Pun intended on the through. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Joined unto who? The tabernacles of Edom. Through taking the MOT to the B. You're still into this man's wicked philosophies. Idolatry, Christianity, Catholicism, homosexuality, bestiality, sacrificing your children to Molech, having your children chop their rods off, the Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union spirit. Psalms 50:18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him, and hast been partakers with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. That's all this man does, The wicked are estranged from the womb. As soon as they be born, they go about speaking lies, roughly paraphrasing. Psalms 58:3. I'll just get it real quick since we're being long-winded. Psalms 58:3, and it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb. As soon as they be born, it's like it. The wicked are estranged from the womb. As soon as, it's like it. My reading today. Psalms 58:3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Esau, Edom, he can't get right. He can't get right, man. This is, let's get Ecclesiastes 1:15. Ecclesiastes 1:15, and it reads, come on, man. It's like it. Ecclesiastes 1:15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting, insufficient, deficient, insufficient to rule, cannot be numbered. Esau, Edom, you can't get right, man. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and Yahweh Shem Shai made you crooked. This is Proverbs 16:4, and it reads, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. Oh, come on, man. My phone, it's like it has a mind of its own. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. You were made to be the wicked. Psalms 50:20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Esau speaking against Jacob. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. He's the accuser of the brethren, and he's going to be cast down. It talks about that in the book of Revelation. This is Proverbs 14:2. He that walketh in uprightness, feareth the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him. And that's that perpetual hatred. Let's go into this word. What word do we have right here? Proverbs 14. That word is lawaz, but I want to make sure I'm covering it right. Salakia, my internet where I'm at. That word perverse is lawaz, and that word for upright would be yashar. Yep, yashar. Uprightness. That word perverse is lawaz. Lawa. Yep. Lawaz. And it goes into to depart, aside, forward, depart, perverse, perverseness. perverse, forward, forward, which is also a characteristic of Esau Edom, devious, to go wrong, go crooked. We just read that. Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. You know? Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. And it reads, Slack it. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. You can't be satisfied, you know? Let's keep on reading. To become devious, perverse. Yeah, lexicon. Wicked. Perverseness. Wickedness. Wow. Let's go to Job 9 and 24. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Let's look at this word, wicked. That's Rashai. Yep, Rashai. And it goes into wicked, criminal. Wicked, ungodly. Condemned, guilty. Wicked man, bad person. Slacky. See what the lexicon says. But one of the titles of Esau Edom is also the ungodly. Let's go to Proverbs. All right, we can skip that actually. Let's go to Proverbs 14 and 11. And we'll get Wisdom of Solomon in the second chapter and wrap on up. Proverbs 14 and 11, and it reads, the house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. That's good. Let's see. Yep. This is Proverbs 15 and 25. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. And that's complementing Proverbs 14 and 11. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the righteous, Slakia. I'm gonna start again from the top. I'm tripping. Proverbs 14 and 11. The house the house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. And that's what's happening right now through this word. Now, this word Rashai. Yeah, Rashai. Rashai. Yeah, Rashai. Ungodly, right? Wicked, criminal. That word criminal goes back to crimson, which means red. Guilty one. One guilty of crime. Wicked. Hostile to the Most High. Wicked, guilty of sin against the Most High or man. The man of sin. The son of perdition. Esau Edom. In Job 9 and 24, that's that word for wicked. Rashai. Yep, Rashai. Slaki. Now let's go into Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, talking about Esau Edom, giving himself a pep talk. but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in death of man there is no remedy, neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. And this is Esau Edom giving himself a pep talk. Let's go down to the 11th verse. It's like it. And it reads, let's read 10. Let us oppress the poor and righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. And eventually they're going to pass laws to come after, us, to label us domestic terrorists, label us the worst thing under the sun, just like they did in old times. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing wrought, to be nothing worth. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending of the law. He objected to our infamy the transgressions of our education. And this man is vile, he's wicked. He does everything contrary to the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, because he's the wicked. He professeth to have knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. And that's what we're doing on this man's own platform. And that joyful sound is getting in his ears, and he's starting to show his true self. He was made to reprove our thoughts. Wisdom of Solomon 2:15. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. And that's what Haman said, in the form of our laws, we have strange laws, roughly paraphrasing, when he made his accusation, Also that letter that was written in the book of Ezra, the 4th chapter, they were saying the same thing, That just reminds me of those two accounts. Wisdom of Solomon 2:15. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. Let's read this in the G&T. Wisdom of Solomon 2:10 down to 17, the G&T. It's a shorter read in the G&T. Will oppress the poor, even if they are righteous, will show no respect for widows or old people. That reminds me of the curses, Deuteronomy 28 and 50 and 51. We'll call ourselves right if we are strong enough to get what we want. No one ever got anywhere by being weak. And this is Esau Edom giving himself a pep talk. Righteous people are nothing but a nuisance. Let us look for chances to get rid of them. They are against what we do. They accuse us of breaking the law of Moses and violating the traditions of our ancestors. They claim to know the Most High. They call themselves the Lord's children. And that's what we are. Isaiah the 44th chapter in the 4th verse, Let's just get that real quick since we're being long-winded. And that's biblical prophecy. That's the dry bones waking up, Through what? Through men, prophesying into the wind. Isaiah 44:5. I think that's it. Slack it. Might be 3. Yeah, Isaiah 44:5. One shall say that I am Yahweh's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, getting those Hebrew names. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai, and surname himself by the name of Israel. And that's what you do when you go on YouTube. You make a channel name, you get a Hebrew name, for those who are teachers, and then you subscribe unto the teachings of Yahweh Shem Yahshai on the YouTube, And then you have certain men who actually, they'll throw Yasha Allah in their actual name as well. We have a prime example, at our camp, the brother Shamak, who actually sent this article in the group chat, Shamak Yasha Allah, And Shalom, Aki, if you catch this lesson, you know, the water for the info, man. It's a day late, but Lord's will is still edifying. I was feeling through yesterday, but now I feel way better today. Isaiah 44:5. One shall say, I am Yahweh's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. You subscribe to the channels and the teachings of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, and surname himself by the name of Israel. Getting those Hebrew names. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2:14. We can't stand the sight of people like that. What they are contradicts our whole way of thinking. They are not like other people. They have strange ways. They have strange laws, That's what the heathen have said in the past, and that's what they're saying to this day. They think our moral standards are so corrupt that everything we do should be avoided. They boast of having the Most High for their Father and believe that when all is said and done, only the righteous will be happy. And that's the report. That's true. Let's go into the KJV for verses 1-5 and close on out. And it reads, For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of man there is no remedy, neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. They shall fly away as a dream, Be like they never existed. Wisdom of Solomon 2:3. Which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned to ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air, also your kingdom. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud. I got to get Job. Job 18. And it reads, Job 18:5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. Woo! Man. This is Job 18:14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. Yahweh Shai. Yep. Job 18:15. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. The ICBM missiles and the chariot fire to clean up. The chariot fire to clean it on up. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2:4. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. Those ICBM missiles, For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed. Your fate is sealed. It's set in stone. It's written to happen. And the words of the Lord don't go out void. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise. You're going to be destroyed, man. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. Thus saith the scriptures. Thus says the prophecies, man. Wisdom of Solomon 2:5. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed that no man cometh again. Let's get this in the GNT, the Good News Translation. And we'll wrap on up. Lord's will, you find this lesson edifying. Wisdom of Solomon 2:1 down to 5. Wicked people are wrong when they say to themselves. And that's what he was doing. He was giving himself a pep talk, For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves. Who's the ungodly? The tabernacles of Esau, Edom. The wicked. Rashai, ungodly, wicked man. That word wicked in Job 9:24 is Rashai, ungodly, condemned. Woo, condemned. Let's get condemned. Let's just look it up real quick for edification purposes. Condemned, unsafe, damned, sentenced to a particular punishment, especially death, often declared unfit for use. Woo! Damn. Man, that hurt to read. In the form of, if I was Esau, I'd be hurt too. No wonder this nigga's hurt. Wisdom of Solomon 2:1. Wicked people are wrong when they say to themselves, our life is short and full of sorrow. And when it comes, there is no escape. No one has ever been known to come back from the world of the dead. And this is your fate. You wicked elite, you banksters, you Illuminatis, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Wahlberg family. This is your fate. We were born by chance, and after life is over, we will be as if we have never been born at all. You're going to lift up your eyes in hell, Lazarus and the rich man. The rich man lifted up his eyes in hell in the form of in slavery, in damnation, condemned. We were born by chance, and after life is over, we will be as if we have never been born at all. Our breath is no more than a puff of smoke. Our mind is nothing more than a spark thrown off by the beating of our heart. When that spark dies, our body will crumble into ashes, and our breath will become part of the empty air. Got to go back to Job 18. Job 18. And it reads, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. Woo! Wisdom of Solomon 2:4. And it reads 2 and 3 in the GNT, the Good News Translation. And it reads, when that spark dies, our body will crumble into ashes, and our breath will become part of the empty air. In time, no one will remember anything we ever did, and even our names will be forgotten. Our lives will pass away like the traces of clouds that vanish like fog in the heat of the sun. The beginning part. In time, no one will remember anything we ever did, in time, no one will ever remember anything we ever did, and even our names will be forgotten. Let's get Job 18. I just had it. Come on. Job 18. Let's see. Might be 20. Yep. Job 18 and 16. And it reads, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. I'm going to get it again. Job 18 and 17. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. Speaks for itself. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 4. Again, in the GNT. In time, no one will remember anything we ever did, and even our names will be forgotten. You shall have no name in the street. Our lives will pass away like traces of clouds and vanish like fog in the heat of the sun. Our time on earth is like a passing shadow. There is no escape from the day of our death. It is fixed, and no one can postpone it. Deuteronomy 32. Let's get it down here. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. And it reads, let's This is the KJV. Yep. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Your fate is sealed. It's fixed. It's written. And the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. You know? Since I'm quoting it, I'll just get it. 2 Peter 3. And it reads, yep. 2 Peter 3 and 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance, the Israelites. If you keep on reading, it talks about, I'll just read it. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are in the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing that all these things shall happen, seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, Slakia, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, and he has a promise to destroy Babylon the Great. Last precept, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 5 in the G&T. Our time on earth is like a passing shadow. There is no escape from the day of our death. The end is come. End is come. It watcheth for thee. You know? Ezekiel the 7th chapter. Our time on earth is like a passing shadow. There is no escape from the day of our death. It is fixed, and no one can postpone it. And that's your fate. So, Lord's will you find this lesson edifying. Once again, the buildup of the great accusation is playing out right before our eyes. But the good thing about it is we know the end game for this. You know, they're coming. So is that standard that's coming. As soon as they make their move, man, you know, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai has a counter for this, man, through the Spirit, through the Holy Spirit, man. And we believe on that with all our heart, man. So, Lord's will you find this lesson edifying. I'm going to close on out right here. And in closing, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory unto the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, double honors unto the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well, Shalom, unto the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well, Shalom, Shalom. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, and the hearty Shalom that the sincere brethren doing the work in truth and sincerity spread across the four winds of the earth, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure, Shalom, Shalom. And last but not least, a hearty Shalom to the men of valor in the DTA camps. First camps I ever heard the truth from, Isaiah 62, verses 6 through 7, ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai, keep not silence, and give him no rest day or night, till Jerusalem is a praise in the earth. So once again, Lord's will you were edified. That's what it's all about. Let all things be done unto edification. And until next time, Shalom, DTA, Wa Abba Babal. Soon. Shalom.